Hey everyone, I'm Jeff Newton and welcome to The Jeff Newton Show. Behind the scenes of building a coaching or healing business from the heart. And on today's episode, I have a very special guest, Lara.
Hi.
Hi. Lara is an embodiment facilitator with over 30 years of experience, the founder of the Body as Muse method and of the Art of Ecstatic Touch. Both born from her devotion to the body as a gateway of presence, pleasure, and transformation. And she's studied the body in depth, drawing on things like authentic tantric yoga, body work, heart IQ, somatic awakening, and more. And her work invites others to embrace the body as a sacred ally, opening the doors to more vitality, more connection, and more of their own truth. Welcome, Lara.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure, as always.
Yes.
I'm sure we're all dying to know, what is it you do and who is it you enjoy serving?
Well, I'm an embodiment mentor. And, it's really about supporting people in getting to know the language of their body that it speaks, and then being able to have that be an expressive vehicle for them in their lives.
And you tend to work with, I think we've talked before about you working with facilitators, leaders, coaches, guides, those kind of people?
Yes. Yeah, I love working with people who are in the world of supporting others through their guidance, through their leadership, and especially in the realms of self-development, because they're the ones who are models for embodiment of what it is that they're trying to transmit to others. And so it becomes really valuable for them to go another layer of depth of understanding what it's like to be inhabiting their vessel, this vessel that is also this bridge between their unique language and Source itself. And so that becomes quite something when they're able to sync up even more with already the intuition and knowing that they are connected to. Because these are people who are already successfully touching people's lives.
Yes. Yeah. And so there's like another level they can go to if they become more embodied or move into their next level. How would they know if they need another level, or would they recognize it, or is it just hard to tell?
Yeah, I think that the place where the recognition happens is usually the way the body speaks to us, which is through sensations and felt sense. So oftentimes it may express itself as like some kind of chronic pain or chronic discomfort that might happen in the body. That's the body's way of saying, hey, we need to get a little bit more attention in this part of us to become part of what we're trying to express and do in the world. The other way is just people who are knowing that they're wanting to have they're wanting to become a little more anchored in who they are when they reach a larger field.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
So that they're more relaxed in themselves, that it doesn't take so much effort, that they're not straining.
Yes.
Because that strain sometimes creates a little bit of distance from the connection of the truth in them.
Yes. Yeah. And I talk to a lot of people who have that sort of symptom. They're like, okay, I'm working hard, I'm doing great work, but their health suffers, or they start to feel almost like they're burning out. But I think it's that strain they're really talking about, where they're moving forward, taking action, and on the other hand, they can feel some kind of dis-ease or some kind of unrest or some kind of strain happening.
Yes, because I think one of the things I've discovered is that the body can be used as a guidance system, right? It is a way that we can gauge if we're aligned with our directionality. And one of the beautiful, like if we say like the north, like our directional is around feeling good, pleasure in the body, when we feel at ease in the body, that's an indication that we're coming into alignment.
Yeah.
And so that's where, when we're feeling good, it opens the doorway to truth. It opens the doorway to what wants to be connected to. And so when someone is a leader and a guide and a facilitator, and they want to tap into that, there needs to be that openness to that truth and that ease in the system to be able to access that. Now, granted, there are people who are able to still amazingly connect with people, even though there might be a little bit something off in their bodily connection.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But then it becomes like this separation of like work is a success, but the consequences is like I get burnout, or I know some amazing leaders who start to get some immune responses.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, and it does happen where there's a lot of really talented leaders or facilitators who are struggling physically and almost feel like their body is working against them.
Yes.
And what you're saying is your body's meant to align you with that voice of truth that you might already be in touch with, but in a way that's more true for you.
Yes. There's 3 specific somatic essences in our bodies, right? So we have breath, movement, and energy. And it's like those 3, if we think of them like when we're working with a camera and we're trying to balance out, let's say, the light, the contrast, and the brightness, yeah? That when we get those synced up, that's where flow happens.
Yeah.
Now, usually what happens is that when they're out of sync, that's when strain happens on the organism.
Yeah.
So oftentimes people who have amazing capacity to connect with others, sometimes they might be receiving this energy through them, but the body is not fully able to relax in it.
Yes.
So it strains to be able to be the conduit.
Yeah.
And that's where the impact is.
Yeah.
But if we make the adjustment, meeting so that the breath meets the flow of energy, and there's these micro movements to help keep the system from congealing around the movement of expression,
Yep.
then that's where there's more ease in the overall system.
I love it. That's really clear. So, because energy is information, so, you might be watching this in touch with energy, with truth, and you know it's true, but you can feel your body gets tense during the process. And so what Lara's saying is through breath, by meeting it with breath and movement in the right way, you still get all that energy, but now it's in sync, now it's aligned, and now you're more whole.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the somatic resources of our body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentor coaches, leaders, guides, but when the heck got you started doing that? What inspired you to start working this way with people?
Good question. Yeah, it's amazing how it was a result of people coming to me, so individuals actually approaching me and saying, how can I learn what you're doing? So it was really people seeing how I was embodied.
Yeah.
And that led me to the question, well, like, what am I doing? What is it that I am in touch with that people are seeing that they would like to learn more of how to implement themselves? And some of that started back when I was working with bodies, leading them in mind-body practices. And people wanted to learn how to teach that, how to be able to present to groups of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a mix. They wanted to embody what you have, but sometimes they also wanted to learn, how are you training this into people?
Yes, and
so they could do it themselves.
It's a classic thing, we teach what we most need to learn.
Yes.
And so that got me on that journey of understanding my own relationship to embodiment, and where my own hang-ups and hiccups were about that.
Yeah.
And then also, just the fascination of because I started with studying human anatomy and biology of the body. That led me to also understand the nervous system.
Yes.
And the impact of belief systems and trauma on that. And so I really learned it in depth from that perspective.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then learning later on about more of the psychology and emotional aspects of embodiment. And so the two together really became something of that's how to reach someone, that they're all intermingled. Even when someone wants to have a healthy back,
Yeah.
right? They want a healthy spine. They want to feel strong and healthy. So much of what that's about is also incorporating the psychology behind belief systems, because everything we believe is stored in the body.
Yeah.
We are shaped by our beliefs. We are shaped into the form of ourselves, how we move in the world and how we respond to life.
Beautiful. So that's what got you started in mentoring. I'm curious what got you started down the embodiment road, because this isn't a road that everybody knows. You don't have like the same path as everyone else, I'm sure. So is there a story there to be told about like how you got into this and made this your life's work?
Yeah. Well, what happened is that I met an authentic yoga tantric teacher. And it happened just as I, in the world of the whole mind-body modality world, that this particular teacher helped me to feel and sense below the primary senses, right? The senses below the senses. So the 5 outer senses are exteroception.
Okay, they're sensing the outside world.
Yeah. The inner sensing is our interoceptive sensing.
And she was helping you feel into that layer at a deeper level?
Yes, even underneath that. So you can go even further back, and I started to experience this whole other level of capacity that my form had, and also saw that others had. We can feel on a very deep level. And when we open up to that feeling sensing realm, it is a bridge to connecting to Source itself. I was starting to have a conversation with Source, the divine, something sacred, the mystery. And that just had me connect to this whole other level of beyond just fixing people, right? Through body work or through Pilates and like...
Because that's what you were doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was. But I was always like interested in helping people become more self-resourced.
Yeah.
Right? That I discovered that there is this huge intelligence that we are given, that we're gifted. And that even those that are challenged by kinesthetic, their own, people who say that they're not kinesthetic learners, right? That such and such, if they're just more mind people, right?
Yeah.
That they are still gifted with the most amazing intelligence in their capacity to feel.
Yes.
Sense and feel. And I mean through the sense of like feeling this inner space of our body.
Yeah. I love that. Now, this idea of embodiment, I think some people know what it means, but maybe sometimes there's a little confusion out there, because embodiment could just mean, hey, I got in my body, I did some push-ups, hey, I went for a run, hey, I'm doing yoga, I'm embodied.
Yes.
And, I get a sense that there's a little more to it with you.
Yes.
But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, we're all already in a body,
Sure.
yes?
Yeah.
And you're right, there's all these different degrees of what embodiment means, that we can be embodied. So a lot of people tend to see that to become more embodied means that they need to make more time separately for their body.
Right.
Going to the gym, self-care, all the different ways, doing yoga, getting a massage, right? Now, the thing is that it still, it approaches it as separate, but our bodies are with us all the time. And for me, I noticed that even in my own world, when I was, here I was fully teaching in an embodied world, like I had a Pilates studio, I was doing Pilates training, I had many teachers working for me. And I found the challenge of like, how do I stay in feeling connected to myself, feeling the goodness of myself, knowing how to know what my needs are and honoring that while I'm also being a business owner.
Yeah.
And so embodiment became the inclusion, the inclusiveness of connecting to my guidance system, my inner guidance system, which is including like my self-care, my knowing. How do I, in the moments, keep shifting to adjust to that? That it's inclusive, and that that it's not just about going someplace else to get that.
Right.
Right? Because especially we're being asked to be in this technology.
Yeah, digital age.
Yes, this digital age. I have to be on the computer a lot. But here I am, this body person that needs to move a lot, and I'm teaching people about movement, and I'm getting
stuck behind a computer.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly,
I can relate.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone can relate to that, yeah?
Right.
So how can I stay in that embodiment? Can I stay connected to that feeling sensing me in each moment?
Yeah.
And that's true self-care.
Yeah.
Moment to moment. This now moment is the moment that we have. And can I breathe into it? Or because otherwise it's constantly this compartmentalizing of our lives, separating out. So that's part of like what got me curious about that, because I saw that even when people would come into me, a lot of their belief systems about how they think their life is meant to be was the strain on them.
Yeah.
You know, the shoulds. Oh, I should be able to do this. I should be able to have 8 hours of sitting at my desk without any pain.
Yes.
And I'm like, what? No. And so that's the rub that we have.
Yeah.
Is that it's almost like we want our bodies to be turned into like these robots, machines. And it's just not true. So what's happened too is I see that people get connected to a whole different creativity and capacity for output when they start listening more, which might mean taking breaks, changing positions. I mean, luckily we have these computers that are portable, like changing from sitting to standing.
Yes,
right. Making sure that I stretch my spine and I move it while I'm working. I might even just start to find my little subtle movements. Mm-hmm. Is my breath dropping all the way down into the base of my body in moments? Or am I just breathing up high?
Shallow breath.
Right? And I'm just trying to use just my brain power. But the brain is in the body. And it gets nourished by all the senses, sensory capacity through the whole system.
Mm. So you were at this Pilates studio and doing body work as well, mm-hmm. and then you had this experience you told us about where you started to connect to Source and speaking directly to you, and that was an eye-opener for you.
Yes.
And you realized that these things don't have to be separate,
mm-hmm.
and that this embodiment business is something you can bring into every moment.
Yes.
And so when you discovered that, some people would have just said, hey, that was neat, and they would have gone back to just running the Pilates studio and just doing. So that changed something for you.
Yes.
I'm curious about that change. Like, what did making that jump look like for you? What was that process like?
When I started to feel the meeting of opening up my sensory realm through my body and how that helped me feel and understand the mystery of what beats my heart, right? Of why, the sense of why am I here in this body? These bigger, larger questions. And when I started to open up more, it brought me so much joy and meaning in my life. Because otherwise it felt like always this question of why am I doing this? Why am I, what's this all for? It brought me connected to a sense of purpose and meaning. And recently I just came upon this PhD scientist from Columbia University, Dr. Lisa Miller, who did research on the brain and found that there's a part of the brain that is specifically designed for spiritual inquiry.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that part of the brain, when someone who is in a regular dialogue or inquiry, questioning, prayer, whatever that is, when that is happening on a regular basis, that part of the brain is more developed.
Okay. So they can see that. They can actually see that.
It was actually measured. And that those that were depressed, those that were feeling a loss of connection to life, feeling lost in life, that part of the brain was thinner.
Okay. Wow.
So I believe what happened for me is that when I experienced that sense of a spiritual awakening through my body, through this like sense of like embodiment.
Yes.
I was actually nourishing a part of my brain.
Yes.
I was nourishing a certain kind of wellness in myself that gave me more sense of like, yeah, health and wellness.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. And my next question I wanted to ask is about, this journey of putting yourself out there. So like you've said, you had this experience, it became important to you to follow and to go through that process and take that leap into this new realm.
Yeah.
And part of it, though, as we know, is trying to put stuff into words, trying to invite people to your events. Maybe sometimes people don't get it or don't know you exist, or even if they get it, know you exist, it can just be scary. Like, what kind of things have you come across that were challenges for you that either are still challenges or maybe you've come to the other side of?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges, I would say, is it's like when I have to slow down in my translating of my experience, meaning to give people bite-sized information. Right?
That's good. People like bite-size. We like bite-sized information.
And that's been a learning process for me. It really has. And that just comes from trial and error. And like just having a conversation and really finding out, like, how is this landing?
Yep.
Yeah, right? And then if it's not understanding, then go, okay, what is really here? What is being understood? Just like finding out what are you understanding about what I'm saying, right? Yes. And then making any adjustments. Can I say this in a new way?
Yes. That's so critical. Yeah. I love that. And, these are typical things that I'll talk to people about in my line of work is trying to explain what you do. You do have to, sometimes it's bite-sized, but also dumbing it down is a phrase. Like, how would you explain it to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old? So dumbing it down doesn't mean the person's dumb, but it might mean they don't have your full attention, or maybe you are using terminology they're not familiar with.
Yeah.
And so explaining it in a way that is simple, but it's hard to figure out all by yourself, so you have to actually ask people in real life, your real clients, and see what they got out of it. Did it land? Did it make sense?
Yes. And then the other thing is people are so driven with, they want to see instant results.
Yes.
Right? And so it takes also just giving them the feeling and the feeling, experiencing relief, because most people are looking for relief, especially with the body. They want to get rid of their pain, their discomfort. They want to be able to just be in a way that's like easeful. So the relief, and then when working with me, when they start to discover that relief, then it's like there's more, Then they're more motivated to then find out all the other pieces, right? So meeting them where their own sense of like the value, right?
Yes.
Like, and so that might mean we might have to meet them at that place where their pain point is. Can you relieve me of this pain?
Right.
What has helped me like stay connected to my messaging in some ways was also like how you helped me feel what's available. Right? To not always push myself to like feel like I have to create content, but that to feel into that there is a rhythm and cycle to things.
Yes. And
to keeping good with like, since we are playing almost all these different roles.
Right.
I am my CEO. I am the marketer.
Yeah, you're the marketing department, your CEO, your customer service, your product delivery, product creation. You name it, that's you.
Yes.
Tech support when you have to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that means to feel into what's most available. Mm-hmm. And it's like following again the pleasure and the availability.
Yeah.
And that's where then I stay in that flow.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Lara, it's been great. If people want to learn more, if they want to connect with you, how can they do that?
They can go to my website, bodyismuse.com, because it gives people a place where they can possibly see if they want to get into a mentorship program with me, whether that's one-on-one or one of my other mentorship programs. I'm always doing events, both live events and events online. I travel with my events.
Yes.
I'm here in the Netherlands right now.
Yes.
I live in the U.S., in Portland, Oregon.
And you do local stuff there too.
I do local stuff there too.
So we'll put that in the show notes, the website.
Yes.
And then they can also reach you via Instagram, I think.
Yes, and so I have my Instagram handle, which is Lara.Kolesar.
Okay, and I'll put that in the show notes too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Lara. It was really great to hear about your journey and to learn more about your work and what drives you, because it really is incredible work you do and really one of a kind. Haven't met anyone quite like you, so it's beautiful to get to show that off a little bit here.
Well, thank you for having me, Jeff. You've been instrumental in being able to have me feel into my authentic messaging. Yeah, you've been a big, important instrument in my life, so it's such a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. It's not so nice to receive. If you've been feeling the call to show up at your next level, to show up in a bigger way, but it feels a little out of reach, either you're blending in or you're doubting your voice or you're not sure what it means, what it looks like to show up at your next level. That is exactly what we go to work on in the Magnetic Leader. This is where we're going to evolve and amplify your leadership vision and voice and bring it out in your most powerful self-expression so that you can grow the audience that you're actually made for, serve more people, and make the impact you know you're here to make. Early bird pricing ends August 24th, so if you know you're meant for this next level of impact, of visibility, of leadership, go to jeffnewtoncoaching.com/leader to get details and to get started. That's jeffnewtoncoaching.com/leader.